This is KGW News at 11.
Tonight, Portland says goodbye to legendary Trailblazers broadcaster Bill Schonely. Early this morning, Schonely passed away at the age of 93. Thanks for joining us tonight at 11. I'm Joe Ranieri. He was an icon, no doubt about it. The mayor of Rip City, one of the very first hires of the Blazers organization back in 1970. He served as the team's play-by-play voice for nearly 30 years. Even when he was done calling games, he was a fixture at Moda Center, where he served as a team ambassador. Alma McCarty has reaction from fans and friends.
The phrase Rip City means a lot to Portlanders and, of course, a lot to Blazers fans everywhere. And today, remembering the life of Bill Schonely, it means even more.
From 15,
From 1970
The Portland Trailblazers have won the World Championship.
to the present day, his was a voice known well.
Good evening, basketball fans, wherever you may be.
Bill Schonely, the mayor of Rip City, the Shawns, a legend.
I think Bill was the most popular figure ever in the history of the Trailblazers. That's over 50 years. He was there from year one, and he was very proud of that. He was proud of being such a popular voice, not just voice, but figure throughout all that time.
On Saturday, the 93-year-old passed away, as first reported by his friend and biographer, Kerry Eggers.
People remembered him from the days of their childhood. I had so many people come up to me and tell me how often how many warm memories they had of listening to him on the broadcast.
Bill Schonely was born on June 1st, 1929 in Norristown, Pennsylvania. His career in broadcasting began during his time in the Marine Corps while serving in the South Pacific. KGW spoke with Schonely back in 2017.
I started Armed Forces Radio in late 1949, and I've been in the business ever since. And that really whetted my appetite.
Then, in 1970, he got a call from Harry Glickman about his brand new NBA team in Portland. He joined the organization, one of the very first hires. For nearly 30 years, he was a play-by-play announcer, calling over 2,500 games, including the team's championship run in 1977.
There's a bedlam out there. I could hardly see, and I'm darting around and with a headset on, and it was wonderful.
He went on to serve as the team's ambassador, starting in 2003. Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups and star player Damian Lillard expressed just how much Schonely meant to the team and to the sport.
Just revered around the league. So it's a sad day, a very sad day for us and this organization. Fan base. Anybody that knows him knows that he immediately told me that he was the person that came up with Rip City. That was one thing that he owned, and something that he was extremely proud of. A lot of the names that are hanging up, you look at the history of this organization and all the great players that have come through. He wanted that to be known, and he spoke on it very often, and those were the times, where he was probably most into it.
Bill Schonely retired in 2022.
They had a retirement night for him, the last game of the season in April, and while he knew he would get a nice reception, I think he was overwhelmed by the love and respect that he got that night, and I think he would feel obliged to say that he enjoyed the relationship just as much as those fans did over the years.
I have done many events such as this, but always for somebody else. And to have it happen for me, thank you very much.
The Blazers play here at the Moda Center tomorrow night against the Lakers, and we will be there for the tribute. In North Portland, Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Well, did a great job with that tribute. Now, joining me this evening is sports anchor Orlando Sanchez. As we were talking during that story, there is no bronze statue of Bill Walton. There's no bronze statue of Clyde Drexler. Maybe this is the chance for the Blazers to make a first with Bill Schonely.
Wouldn't that be pretty sweet? And I know a lot of Trailblazers fans would love to have something like that. And Rip City truly loved Schonely, and he loved Rip City. He connected with people in a special way, not only as the voice over the airwaves, but in person as an ambassador for Rip City. There are countless photos and personalized stories about the Shans on social media. It seemed like he knew everyone and everyone knew him. I've interviewed and run into Shanley numerous times at Moda Center, and I'll never forget meeting him. As a broadcaster, he made me feel like I belonged. I think he had that same impact on so many people over the years, and it shows in the genuine outpouring of love today. It's what makes him one of Portland's all-time greats. And I'll be back later tonight as we continue to honor Bill Shanley's life and legacy. If you'd like to see more coverage of him, visit us on YouTube. We have a playlist called Remembering Bill Shanley. Joe?
Thanks, Orlando. Well, we started off this Saturday morning with a little bit of some excitement with our weather. Just after sunrise, we saw a cold burst of snow showers move over the metro area. Some of us saw some snowflakes for a little bit, while others saw ice pellets and grapple. Much of the area saw a little of all three. Now, the wintry mix really didn't stick around for too long, but it stuck around long enough for people to talk about. By late this morning, it was all over. So what is grapple? Well, let's take a look at this graphic. You have snow falling from above, right? Well, the grapple forms from supercooled water droplets in the air and freeze onto falling snowflakes. The end result are these tiny white pellets that almost resemble hail. Now, you just saw some of that video. The grapple almost bounces once it hits the ground. So what's the difference between hail and grapple? Unlike hail, grapple is soft and crushable. It made for a pretty scene, but you know, it didn't last for too long, and I think a lot of people got excited about it. I think they were more excited that it didn't stick around for too long.
Right, absolutely, Joe. Yes, I was in my room at home and I heard something, and then I looked out and it was the grapple. I was like, is it hailing? Is it raining? What is it? So now we know. So thank you so much for that great explainer. But yeah, as we're looking outside here in the Portland metro area, we are no longer seeing any snow. But just take a look at this scene out over Timberline. They are in the teens right now. Winds are pretty calm, but it is definitely pouring down with fresh new snowpack. Looking at the rest of those current temperatures right now, many of us are in the low 40s, upper 30s, 38 degrees for Forest Grove, 37 for Happy Valley, but we are in the teens as we're looking down into the eastern portion of our state near Burns. 27 degrees for Bend, and then a little bit warmer as we're looking over to the coast, right around 46 degrees for Astoria. Now, these are your weather headlines, and we'll talk deeply on all four of these coming up in just a little bit, but we are expecting to see some spotty showers for our early morning hours for our Sunday. Winter weather advisory is also in effect, sneaker wave advisory, and we are expected to see somewhat of a dry trend for the rest of this work week. Joe?
Daisy, thank you. Looking at the live camera from Timberline Lodge, it looks like people have a good amount of powder to be skiing on or snowboarding come tomorrow. Well, a kayaker is home safe tonight after the U.S. Coast Guard rescued him in the Columbia River this morning. His kayak capsized near Puget Sound, just south of Klamath, Washington. Now, the Coast Guard sent a rescue swimmer to save the man and lowered a basket to haul him up to a waiting helicopter. The man was evaluated for hypothermia, but later refused to go to the hospital. Two teenagers, ages 13 and 14, were arrested in Oregon tonight after stealing a car in Washington. Police say the suspect stole the car from the Vancouver Mall. The victim told authorities she was walking toward the mall when the two men forced her to give up her keys. The victim says the suspects had a knife and threatened her. She gave the suspects her keys and she was not hurt. The Vancouver police found the stolen car and tried to pull the suspects over. They didn't stop. Instead, the suspects drove to Clackamas County, where the chase ended. The two teen suspects are now at a juvenile detention center. They are facing carjacking and felony harassment charges, among other things.